Gold Parlay King Sports. Welcome back. Recap from yesterday in the NBA. We went 3-1. We would have got the full sweep yesterday if Memphis would have just kept their foot on the gas and didn't pull the guys out in the fourth quarter. They got up they was up like 17 points in the fourth quarter, and they pulled everybody out and shit. They pulled everybody out. All the starters came out. They was content. They had a nice little lead, and Orlando fought, man. Like they fought, and it's just sad, man, that you was up 18, and then you just let these motherfuckers come back and cover the goddamn spread, man. Like that's the power. I should have just I should have just said money line with Memphis, man, because Memphis ain't a covering team for real. Like all year, Memphis ain't a covering team. Anything above 5 points with Memphis, they ain't covering that shit, man. They ain't covering it. They could be up 25, 30 points in the game, and they'll still get that lead up and let the other team come back and cover the spread and shit. Like it's crazy, man. Charlotte, they won the game right outright. Golden State covered that spread with no problem. Toronto covered the spread, but I told y'all to take the money line, so that cashed. And it was just Memphis, man. Memphis. Like anytime I put my Memphis is like fucking Portland. Anytime I put my money on Memphis or Portland, they always let me down, man. Always let me down. I'm glad Damian Lillard is shut down for the rest of the season. I, you know, Matter of fact, fade Portland for the rest of the season, man. Fade they ass because it's crazy how Portland just shut down Dame because they ain't in playoff contention. All right, we're gonna shut down, but everybody else got to play though. Everybody else got to play. But they ain't get shut down for the rest because y'all ain't in playoff contention and shit. Like I don't know what the fuck they doing up there in Portland. They don't even know what they doing up there in Portland and shit. They don't even know. It's a fucking disaster up there in Portland. I don't know what's going on up there in Portland. I do know what's going on. They never put a real motherfucking team around Damian Lillard and shit. You know what I'm saying? You go get him two weak ass centers. Nurkic is weak as fuck. He don't play no defense. He don't play no defense at all. He all offense, no defense. All these centers that Dame that had, they was weak, man. They weak. They weak. He ain't never had a true center or a true power forward his whole fucking career. When he first got to Portland, he had LaMarcus Aldridge, but LaMarcus Aldridge was on his way out the door. He didn't get on that squad with LaMarcus until LaMarcus was damn near he went past his prime, but he was on the back end of his career. Like when Dame got there, LaMarcus Aldridge he was on the back end of his career and shit. He was a star, all star, all that, but he was on the back end of his career. I think by him going to San Antonio, I think that I think him going to San Antonio, I think that ruined his career and shit. That ruined his career because he stopped chasing rings. Like, you know what I'm saying? You stop chasing rings, you ain't gonna never win it. And then when you got to Brooklyn, it was really you was really past your prime in Brooklyn and shit. Like you couldn't check nobody, none of that shit. So I don't know what they gonna do. I don't know what Dame gonna do, man. Dame gonna have to find out something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Dame fuck around and get traded in the offseason and shit. Like, don't be surprised if you see Damian Lillard get traded in the offseason and shit. And you want me to tell you, it's a couple of guys that should get traded in the offseason because these guys getting paid 200, $300 million and they ain't even producing on the goddamn basketball court. I don't know how the fuck Bradley Beal get $200 million and he don't never make the goddamn playoffs. How the hell Bradley Beal getting paid $200 million, man? He ain't making the playoffs, man. I don't understand it. These NBA teams out here overpaying these guys and they ain't even producing, man. Bradley Beal ain't gonna win Washington nothing. Nothing. It's it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. But we got 4 plays tonight in the NBA. 4 plays tonight in the NBA. All right, that's it. We just got 4 of them today. And who else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about Mark Few. The reason why Mark Few would never win a championship at Gonzaga is because he can't recruit. All right. He don't recruit. He don't recruit as far as I'm talking about the inner city kids. I ain't talking about the McDonald's All Americans. I ain't talking about them. See, sometimes even when you do get McDonald's All Americans, that shit don't win you no goddamn championships. You need inner city kids on your roster if you want to get to the championship game. Look at Gonzaga's roster. Look at their roster. And then come back and look at Florida Atlantic, UConn, uh, San Diego State. Who's the other squad there? San Diego State, UConn. Man, I forgot the Final Four. Shit. I know it's UConn, San Diego, FAU. And who's the other team? Yeah, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't. I'm forgetting it. We got it's UConn, San Diego State, FAU, and who was the 4th team in the Final Four, man? Damn, I'm trying to. I don't forgot who was in the Final Four. I can't pull it up because I'm on this live right now. Oh, Miami. Yeah, Miami. Yeah, right. Good looking, man. Miami. Okay. That's the Final Four right there. UConn, San Diego State, FIU, and Miami. And now what do all those 4 teams have in common? The 4 teams have in common is they recruit the inner city kids. Look at the roster. Look at UConn's roster. Look at San Diego State roster. Look at FAU roster. Look at Miami's roster. They recruit the inner city kids. That's why they in the Final Four. I said the reason why Gonzaga would never win a championship is because Mark Few don't go to the inner city and get those inner city kids. He always going to get these all-American white boys. You know what I'm saying? He always going to get these all-American white boys, and he keep coming up short. Every time he go to the tournament, he keep coming up short. He keep coming up short. He been doing this for like what 25 years now. He don't have no hardware to show for. Only thing he got to show for is he won the Mountain West Conference multiple times. That's the only conference, the only championship that you can hold up is your conference championship. Every time you go to the tournament, I mean, UConn destroyed you. UConn let you know, like, look, your recruiting is not on the level as UConn's. You got destroyed in the Elite Eight. So if Mark Few don't go start recruiting the kids that's in the inner city and put those guys on his roster, he gonna always lose. He ain't gonna never be able to get through the gauntlet because look, like I said, look at the 4 teams now in the Final Four. Look at their rosters. Miami. Look at Miami's roster. I don't even see no white boys on my. I don't even think Miami, Florida got a white guy on their roster. I don't think. The last time I've seen them, I ain't see no white guy out there. FAU, I don't even think FAU. I don't think they got a white guy on their roster. I know they ain't got no one. I know it ain't no white guy on San Diego State roster. San Diego State all black. UConn, they got a couple of them. It's sprinkled in, but it's majority black with one or two, one or two or three white boys. That's it. You look at Gonzaga's roster, man, he got 9, 10 white boys. Like, man, you ain't gonna win, man. You ain't gonna win. You can't win. You gotta have them brothers on your team, man, if you want to win anything. That's in football, that's in basketball, that's in baseball. I mean, any sport you look at, like, you know what I'm saying, you need them brothers, man, if you want to win something. As far as a team sport, you need them brothers on your team. If you ain't got them brothers on your team, you ain't gonna win nothing. You ain't gonna win nothing. Ask Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, you know what I'm saying? Look at the NFL. All right. You need brothers on your team to win championships. And the way Mark Few is recruiting, he recruiting wrong. And if he don't go get those inner city kids and put them on his roster, he gonna keep coming up short, man. That's just what it is. Like, you've been doing this for how long now? 25 years. You've been at Gonzaga 25 years, and you ain't won no championships. Like, none. You got to the Final Four a couple of times and shit. I ain't even seen you in a championship game. You ain't even made it to the championship game. It's because you're recruiting. You recruiting wrong, man. All right, last night we went 3-1 in the NBA last night, man. Something was telling me about that Memphis, man. I should have told everybody to just take Memphis on a money line, man. Because Memphis all year, they haven't been a covering team, man. They haven't been a covering team, man. Like, they'll be up, like last night. They was up 18 points in the fourth quarter. I'm like, okay, this is a clean sweep tonight. And I look up, and they pull all their starters out with like 7 minutes left in the game because they was up 18. And they just let Orlando come all the way back and cover the goddamn spread, man. Like, it just pissed me off. Like, that's why I said the beauty of money lines sometimes. Like, sometimes when you place bets, the money line is your best friend, man. Your money line is the best friend, no matter what the spread is. Like, you know what I'm saying? The money line is your best friend. A perfect example of that last night. North Texas playing Wisconsin. The spread was North Texas minus 1.5. And I had North Texas on the money line. And they end up winning the game. But I'm like, that was just too close right there. Like, that was too close. It was too close, man. Like, the money line is your friend in gambling, man. Sometimes you got to do money line. Sometimes you just got to, you got to take the loss. You got to take the loss and do money line, man. But tonight, we only got 4 players in the NBA tonight. 4 players in the NBA tonight. Minnesota. We like Minnesota tonight with the 6.5. Love Minnesota tonight. Love that. I think it's going in the championship game. I think it's going to be UConn. I think it's going to be UConn and San Diego State in the championship game. I think that's what we're going to get. We're going to get UConn and San Diego State in the championship game. And you know what? I remember before the tournament started, they had San Diego State playing Utah State. It was like the last weekend of college basketball season, and they put them on CBS. And I sat back and watched that game. And what I came back from the game was like, man, San Diego State got D, man. They got defense. Like, they gonna be in every game because they got defense. Like, you're not gonna be able to like get away from them because they play good defense. But the only thing about that is the way UConn playing right now. I think these next 2 games, UConn might slaughter both of these next 2 games. I think UConn gonna turn up, man. I think we're gonna see 2 blowouts. I think we're gonna see a blowout in the national championship game because UConn look real good, man. They look real good. real good. And I know San Diego State got defense, but you ain't gonna be able to keep up with this offense of UConn. UConn got so many weapons. It's so many weapons on UConn. Like San Diego State, nobody had San Diego State to make it to the Final Four. I didn't have them get to the Final Four, but I just knew that with that defense that they play, defense carries, like defense travels. But I just think UConn just has a little bit too much firepower for everybody that's left in this Final Four. So if I was a betting man, I would put my money on UConn to win it all. Yeah, I'll put my money on UConn to win it all. I'll take them to win it all, man. We coming down the stretch. It's only like 8 games left in the NBA. The last day of the regular season is April the 9th. This NBA playoffs is going to be wide open, man. The West is wide open. I'm going to give you a couple of dark horses that I think going to make a whole bunch of noise when the playoffs come. I think the Lakers going to come in and upset a whole bunch of people, man. I think the Lakers might get the 8th seed. I'm thinking the Lakers going to get the 8th seed. So if they get the 8th seed and play Denver in the first round, I'm picking the Lakers to upset Denver in the first round. And because I'm looking at the matchups and I'm like, who on Denver can stop Anthony Davis? All right. And I'm looking at their roster. I'm like, Joker don't play no defense. He can't stop Anthony Davis. Aaron Gordon, he too small. He too small. And then who gonna check LeBron? You know what I'm saying? Who gonna check LeBron from Denver? Michael Porter Jr.? Nah, that's a bad matchup for the Denver Nuggets if they see the Lakers in the first round, man. We already saw Draymond Green. Draymond Green locked down the Joker in the playoffs last year. All right. If Draymond Green can lock you down, the Lakers can beat you in the first round. I ain't sold on Denver. Just because Denver got the #1 record in the NBA, the #1 record in the West, I'm not sold on them, man. They missing something, man. They missing something. I don't know what it is. They missing something. And they ain't gonna win nothing. Like you would think Denver would have the best odds to get to the finals, and then you go look at the odds, and they got like the 5th best odds in the West. So the odds makers telling you that the Denver Nuggets are fraudulent because they got the #1 seed in the West, and they got the 5th best odds to get to the finals. Like that's crazy. If the Lakers had the #1 seed in the West, the Lakers would be favored to get to the finals. Not 5th best odds in the West, and you the #1 seed. Missing something in Denver. I don't know what it is, but you're missing something. Memphis, I ain't got no faith in Memphis. All right, plus you don't have Steven Adams. You need Steven Adams. No Steven Adams, no finals. Golden State, you ain't got Andrew Wiggins, so you ain't winning. You ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win nothing. You ain't winning nothing without Andrew Wiggins, man. You ain't winning nothing without him. You need Andrew Wiggins. So no Golden State. I'm out on Golden State. I'm out on Denver. I'm out on Memphis. So that leaves me the Lakers, Clippers. The reason why I say Clippers because they got multiple bodies, multiple lineups that they can put out there. And they got Kawhi Leonard. So you know what I'm saying? I can't never, close the book on Kawhi because Kawhi, in the playoffs, he done showed us that he can rise up to the occasion. Right? He can rise up to the occasion when the playoffs get here. So I can't never count out the Clippers until somebody beat them. But I'll be looking at the Clippers, the Lakers, no Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant too frail. Kevin Durant too frail. Devin Booker, he don't go hard enough. He shoot too many jumpers. He don't go to the rack. Uh, and plus, he ain't got that dog in him for real, man. Devin Booker ain't got that dog in him, man. Like for you to be the number one seed last year and you let Luka come up in your house and blow you out in the game 7, man, while you on the field, while you on the court, like the way Luka did you in the playoffs, man, no dog in Devin Booker, man. No dog in him, man. Same thing with Jason Tatum, too. Like Jason Tatum, you got all the way to the finals and then didn't even show up. You ain't even show up at all. That's the reason why y'all lost the finals, because you didn't show up. You let Andrew Wiggins lock you up. You couldn't do nothing. Jaylen Brown is the real dog on that team on Boston. Jaylen Brown is the dog. He's the dog. Like he's the guy that Boston need to keep. But see, Boston ain't gonna keep Jaylen Brown. He gonna leave. Like he gonna leave when his contract up. He leaving Boston, man. Because they don't try to put him on a trade block. They tried to trade him last year. They put him on a trade block last year for Kevin Durant. Like as soon as Brooklyn, as soon as Brooklyn did that trade with Kyrie, they was trying to trade Jaylen Brown for motherfucking Kevin Durant and shit. And I'm like, man, uh, the GM for Boston, what's dude name? Brad Stevens. He don't know what the fuck he doing up there, man. Like, you should have never put Jaylen Brown in no type of trade, you know what I'm saying, rumors and shit. You need Jaylen Brown. If Jaylen Brown leaves Boston, Boston going down. It's a wrap. Like it's going down because Tatum ain't gonna be able to carry that shit. He ain't gonna be able to carry the ship. He ain't gonna be able to carry the ship. You need Jaylen Brown. If Jaylen Brown leave Boston, Boston going down. Right, they going down. Your window of opportunity was last year when you was in the finals. First time making it to the finals. And what the fuck you do, man? You didn't even show up, man. You ain't even show up, bro. You didn't show up and shit. I had money on you too. I told my clients to put money on Boston. I'm like, Boston gonna win this series. I thought Boston was gonna be Golden State. Nah, the fuck they ain't. I didn't think Jalen. I didn't think Jason Tatum would have got completely shut down by Andrew Wiggins in the finals and shit. I didn't think that was gonna happen, but it did happen. And I don't believe they getting back to the finals again. I think that was just a one and done type situation. Because if you're looking at the playoffs now, Boston is gonna have to play Milwaukee in the second round. And I don't think they can beat Giannis. Especially with Chris Middleton back healthy. Yeah, I think Milwaukee. I think it's gonna come down to Milwaukee and Philadelphia for the East. In the West, like I said, the Lakers, Clippers. That's it. The Lakers and the Clippers, like them the two teams that I would put my money on in the West. The Lakers and the Clippers. The Denver Nuggets gonna fold. They gonna fold, man. They just a regular season team. That's what Denver Nuggets is. They're a regular season team. They play good in the regular season, and then when the playoffs come, they just fade away. Like they just fade away. They missing something. I just don't know what it is, man. They missing something. I don't think Jamal Murray leg is all the way healthy and shit, man. Like I don't think his leg all the way healthy. I know he out there balling, but I don't think it's all the way healed, man. But we will see when the playoffs come. We will see. Can he take his game to the next level? That's gonna be the key when the playoffs come. But this gonna be a good. We hope it's gonna be a good Final Four. Like I said, UConn can blow everything out right now. But we like Minnesota tonight plus the points, and we like the Lakers tonight. I love the Lakers because the Lakers can't keep losing. Like they still trying to, you know what I'm saying, secure that playoff spot. So they can't afford to sit out. They gotta show up. You ain't got the luxury of sitting out and you got a 3, 4, 5 game lead. Like, no, you gotta play every time the Lakers on the schedule, they gotta play. They cannot afford to lose no game. They lost last time against Chicago. I think they're gonna get their get back tonight. So I like Minnesota plus the points, and I like the Lakers on the money line. No spread. What is going on in they're banning sports because of gambling? Hey, shit, hey, it probably would. I mean, it's getting out of control now. Like, I mean, they letting everything go through now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing states that I ain't never thought would have sports betting. They passing sports betting laws. You can place bets at the stadiums now. Like, it's like the wild wild west out there with the sports gambling, man. Yeah. Hey, that's the thing I don't like. I don't like that digital stuff, man. That's why I like cash, because I'm like, man, you can't take cash away. Yeah, you can go to a computer and take somebody money out their account. That's why I love holding on to cash, man, because you can't never delete cash. And you should never put all your money in the bank. The way these banks are shaping up right now, man, they'll take your money. Like, the bank will take your money and give you some BS excuse, and you know it's over with. All right. So I always advise people, don't put all your money in the bank, man. Save some money at home, man. He said I eat it. Then they'll label you a serial murderer if you did something like that, man. You be all on TV and shit. It's crazy out here, man. It's crazy, man. You talking about the NBA videos, Turner? You talking about the NBA videos? I'm gonna drop one for tomorrow in the NBA. I'm gonna drop another video for tomorrow in the NBA. I couldn't get to it today because I had so much stuff. I had so much stuff going, taken care of today. I couldn't get to it today, but I will drop. I'm gonna drop a 3-team parlay tomorrow. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I feel you, man. I wish I could go down here every day and drop videos, man. But there's so much stuff going on behind the scenes, man. It's just a lot going on behind the scenes, man. A lot going on behind the scenes, but we gonna get back to it, man. I'm just salty about Memphis last night not covering their spread, man. I mean, they was up, like I said, they was up double digits the whole game until like 7 minutes left. They pulled all they players out. All the starters came out with 7 minutes left. And then Orlando kept their starters in. They ain't even pull their starters out. So they was trying to come back, but it was just that's why I should have said money line with Memphis, because Memphis don't cover spreads, man. All year. Memphis don't be they ain't been a covering team, man. All right. They have not been a covering team all year, man. Yeah. Well, one of them, I want to be one of the realness. I'm just watching. I'm just like watching these games and just seeing how seeing how these games play out. And I'm seeing these NBA players, man. It's crazy how Portland gonna sit Dame because they ain't in playoff contention. Like, I don't even understand the logic of that. Like, I don't even understand the logic of that, man. Why would you sit Damian Lillard out because he ain't in playoff contention? Hey, he ain't he getting a check? Last time I checked, Damian Lillard getting a check, so he should go to work. You know what I'm saying? He should go to work. It should be no excuses, man, for these players not going to work, man. Oh, we don't want him to go to work because we ain't in playoff contention. Then why the fuck everybody else got to play in? If it's like that, then why everybody else on the team got to play? But Damian Lillard get to sit out though. Like, that don't make no sense to me, man. That don't make no sense at all, bro. That don't make no sense at all. I can see the Ben Simmons. I can see you sitting down Ben Simmons for the rest of the season because Ben Simmons been trash. I mean, I ain't never seen an NBA player go from first team All NBA to, I mean, complete garbage. Like, he went from first team All NBA to garbage, bruh. You said your back was you said your back was hurting. You got surgery on your back. You came back and you still garbage. Like, then you don't want to shoot the ball. You don't want to be aggressive on offense. Like, I think Ben Simmons might not be in the league and within shit. Once his contract up, I think he got like one more year on that contract, because that contract he's still on that contract from Philadelphia. So I think once that contract is up, he gonna be out the league. Ain't no team gonna sign up for that shit. You ain't shooting the ball. You a liability on offense. Like, ain't nobody signing up for that. If they do, they gonna probably tell Ben Simmons, we're gonna sign you for the league minimum. Like, that's the type deal he gonna get. He'll never get a long-term deal again. Ben Simmons would never get a long-term deal. He gonna have to get 1 year deals, and it gotta be show me. You got to show me. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get 1 year deals. He ain't getting no 2 year, no 3 years, no 4 years. Nah, they ain't committing. Nah, they ain't doing none of that. When you don't even show up and try to play offense. Like, I never seen nothing like this before, man. I never seen a player go from first team All NBA to garbage. Right? I ain't never seen that before, man. I ain't never seen that before. And we seeing it with Ben Simmons. Like, I tell you another player that's over, that getting paid, overpaid. Like, this guy is overpaid. He ain't produced nothing with this team, and that's Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal making $250 million, and they not even in play-in. Like, if you look at the standings, Washington ain't even in the play-in, man. And you done paid this man $250 million for what? To be in lottery every year, because that's what Washington is, lottery. Every year, Washington in the lottery. Top 5, top 10, they in the lottery some motherfucking where. But I'm just like, how can you give this guy $250 million when he can't even get you to the playoffs? If I'm Washington Wizards, I'm trading Bradley Beal in the offseason, man. I'm trading you, bro. All right. There's no way I'm paying a guy $250 million and you can't even get me to the playoffs, bro. Hell no, nah, man. You got to go. You got to go. And this should be a lesson to like, man, if these guys ain't producing, I don't even think I ever seen Bradley Beal on the first team all NBA. How the hell he qualified for $250 million, man? I ain't never seen him on first team all NBA. Oh, I like UAB, man. UAB. They got a point guard named Walker. That he the truth. He the truth, man. I like UAB all day, every day. North Texas is supposed to lose that game yesterday, man. If you watched the game, they were supposed to lose that game. Wisconsin choked. But UAB all day long, man. All day. Money line, no spread. Like I ain't messing with no spread on that game. I'm taking them straight up on the money line. Because that spread yesterday with the UAB, I think that it got all the way up to 5 against Utah Valley. Lucky I got that. I got it at money line. It was like minus 121 when the spread was all the way down to like 2. Like the spread was at 2 when I locked it in. And it jumped all the way up to 5 and shit. I was glad I went all the way up there. Like I like UConn to chop down the Nets, man. I think UConn gonna chop the Nets down, man. I think they gonna chop the Nets down. And then college basketball will be gone. We got 7 months before college football again. 7 months, god damn. At least we still have NBA though. NBA will take us all the way to June. NBA take us all the way to June, and then shit, when June get here, then it's really dead for sports when June get here, because the only thing that's gonna be jumping is baseball. You know what I'm saying? Baseball gonna be jumping. And I like baseball, but I'm not no like number one fan of baseball. Like the only time I really like get off into baseball, like I'm gonna keep up with baseball during the whole season. But I'm talking about as far as like sit back and watching games, like multiple games, I won't do none of that until playoffs come. I like UAB. I like Minnesota tonight with the points, and they're getting 6.5. Last time I checked, the spread was 6. It didn't drop to 6, but I like Minnesota tonight. I like the Lakers tonight. Money line, Lakers money line, Minnesota plus the points. Opinions on the conference with Charlotte. Charlotte winning the college. What you mean? Opinions on the? You talking about football opinions of the conference? No, I told you UAB gonna win the UAB gonna win the NIT. And UConn gonna win the NCAA tournament. UConn about to win that shit, man. It's gonna be UConn cutting the nets down this year. Anytime UConn can get this far in the tournament, they gonna cut the nets down. And I'm looking at the 4 teams. I'm like, no, I don't see these 4 teams gonna be able to keep up with UConn. Maybe Miami, because Miami play good defense. But at the end of the day, I still think UConn. I think UConn gonna win it, man. I think UConn gonna cut the nets down, and I like UAB. I mean, hey, right now when we get down to these Final Fours, it ain't about the talent no more. It's all about you know matchups. That's what it's when it come. That's what it come down to. It's gonna come down to matchups because you got enough talent. You here in the Final Four, you got enough talent. So the talent that ain't no excuse. It's all about matchups. Like, can you get the right matchups every time? You know what I'm saying? That's what it's gonna come down to. It's gonna come down to matchups, man. But if we looking at the talent as far as like the conferences, it got to be UConn number one. UConn number one, Miami number two, San Diego State number three, and then FIU will be coming in at four because they coming from FIU is from conference no conference USA. They changed their name to something else. They something else now. They used to be Conference USA, but FIU had a good run, man. Like they didn't won like 32 games, 33 games. As we see, FIU the best team that came out that conference because that's who's still standing. They still here. I just figured that UAB, I mean FAU just got when you go in a tournament, you need some luck, and then you need what I'm saying. It's all about matchups. They didn't get the matchups they were supposed to get because remember Purdue went down, FDU beat Purdue, and then FAU got to play FDU because they beat Purdue. Like they were supposed to play Purdue in the second round, but they end up playing FDU in the second round. They almost lost in the first round against Memphis. Remember, Memphis almost beat FAU in the first round. They beat point, but I got UConn cutting the nets down, man. Anytime UConn get to the Final Four, they cut the nets down. It's like the UConn team on the female side. If you see them in the Final Four, they So I was on StreamYard. They was still recording, and I had got kicked off, and it was still recording. Yeah, I'm ending it now.